Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you. Thank you so much for coming here to Body Tokyo.
ウルフクレイグのマスターブレンダーのリチャード・パターソンさんです。
Tonight, what I want to do is introduce you to some very, very special whiskies. But first of all, what I want to do is to take you all the way from Tokyo back to Stirling. We're going to go 9,237 miles from Tokyo to Stirling, Scotland, the capital of Scotch whisky. First of all, I want to do is to introduce myself because whiskey runs in my blood. First of all, this is my great grandfather. I want you to look at him because he's a very, very special man. His name is Sir William Paterson. Sir William Paterson. He established the Bank of England in 1694. But more importantly, because he owned the bank, he loved the smell of money. So this is my grandfather and this is my father. Thankfully, they loved the smell of whiskey. When I was only 8 years old, my father said to me, "Come on, Richard, I want to take you up to Glasgow to show you what whiskey is all about." So my twin brother and I went up to Glasgow and we went up this small lane, this small road to see his warehouses. So he took a big bunch of keys out of his pocket and he unlocked these huge doors. Suddenly the smell of whiskey and Madeiraized wines hit my nostrils. And as we went deeper into the warehouses, we could see the silhouettes of the casks. The noise of the city went silent as we went deeper into the warehouses. Messing around, which annoyed my father. So my father took a valinche and put it into the cask to draw some whiskey out. He then gave me the whiskey glass and said, "Okay, Richard, tell me what it's all about. Tell me what you see and smell." So I looked at it and I said, "I don't know what you mean, Dad." Suddenly he whacked me at the back of the head. I said, "What did you do that for?" He said, "You're being utterly stupid." So I swirled the glass round and I said, "Smell it. Is it as heavy as your grumpy grandfather? Or is it sweet like your chocolate? Or is it as dry as the dust on the floor?" So when I smelt it, it was exactly what my father said. So something inside was stirred. Whiskey was going to become part of my life. So here we are, 57 years later, whiskey still runs in my blood and I still love the smell of it. So one company that I worked for was White & Mackay and the managing director was Jamie's father. He was my boss for 17 years. So 6 years ago, he approached me and said, "I'm building a new distillery with my son." He said, "I would like you to be part of it." Because of his determined strength and drive for promoting whiskey, the answer was simple: I must be part of it. So Jamie's father became part of it, along with Jamie himself, and we started planning things. But sadly, only just over a year ago, Jamie's dad passed away. But we were determined to keep on his spirit of the Wolf Craig that we must do to this day. So Jamie said, "Let us try and build that distillery in Stirling." Stirling, like Scotland, is full of great history. In this particular area, way back in the 10th century, Stirling was going to be invaded by Vikings, the Norsemen. As the enemy approached, one of the enemy stood on the paws of a poor little wolf cub. The wolf cub howled out for his mother, her mother, and all the family, and alerted the sentries at Stirling Castle. The army was able to have a battle to drive off the enemy, and for that we always have remembered the wolf with Wolf Craig.
ウルフクレイグの意味なんですけれども、そのクレイグっていうのは、お城の下とかにある石ロックの、石のことなんですけれども、その石のことをスコットランドではエジンバラ城とかスターリング城とか全部その同じ石でできているんですけれども、そのウルフというところは今の神話があるオオカミが、もともとケルト人が住んでいたところにバイキングが入ってきて、それを、ケルトが勝ったという形で、そのロック、その岩というところが、とてもスコットランド人の大切な言葉であり、それを使ってウルフクレイグという名前になりました。
So we wanted obviously to produce the whiskey, but what we must do is promote it. Where do you want to promote it? The Far East, here in Japan. So the very first whiskey that we created was in fact the 30-year-old Wolf Craig blend. This is 30 years old, but many of the whiskies go up to almost 40 years old. To retain the style, we leave it at almost natural strength of 46% alcohol. So in order to assess the whiskey, you need the right glass. This is the one that I use in Stirling, but this is the actual one you've got here today. This one is very good, but you can still get a few of your fingers in the glass. Whereas this one, you can't even get a nail in it. So what we do is we put it into the glass. We swirl it around. So you swirl it around, then you throw it away. So why do you go like that? You go like that so that the lip of the glass, you can see the lip of the glass has still got some of the whiskey. By doing that, you eliminate any possible odors. They say I've got the most expensive carpet in Scotland. So what I want you to do, a couple of things. Please do not hold the glass like this. Do not warm it like this. Try and hold the whiskey at the bottom, bring it up and say hello. You must get right in there and hold it. But do it slowly, very slowly. Come up and say hello. Quite well. Thank you very much. So now you've got the whiskey in the glass, you've smelt it. What you need to do is to taste it. So back to America, what do you do? How are you?
別にアメリカの方をどうのっていうことではなく、比喩表現です。
So what I want you to do more importantly is to hold it in the mouth. You must keep it in the mouth for at least 30 seconds. So when I go like this, I want you to keep it in the top of your tongue. And then underneath, keep it there. Keep it there. Because it's 46% alcohol, you might get it a little bit peppery. And then put it back up at the top. And then let it go down. Now what we normally do in Scotland is we say Slangy Va. 1, 2, 3. Slangy Va! Here we go.
リズムに皆さん楽しんでください。まだ飲まないでください。30秒です。もう一度上に戻す。そして飲み込みます。
Let it go down. Wait for it.
待ってください。
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep it there.
ください。口の
Softness,
中に入っている風味。
richness. Look at the smell of dark bitter chocolate,
ダークビターチョコレートを感じませんか？
coffee,
コーヒー、
citrus fruits,
シトラスのフルーツの香り。
Lots of licorice and molasses coming through towards the end. First taste is important, but it's always the second taste. Go back a second time. Here we go. 1,
はい、
2,
2
3.
回目のテイスティングに行きます。
And let it go down.
はい、飲んでください。
Now, I saw some of you maybe going like this, blinking. If you blink, maybe perhaps the whiskey is too strong because it's at 46%. So you can add a little water, just a little water, just if you want to see
アル
it.
コール度が高いので、ほんの少しなんですけれども、ちょっとだけこうやってお水を入れてみましょう。
But when you drink it this time with a little water, you are taking a lot of the muscle of the whiskey away. Okay? But quite a difference when you take the water with it. You need time. Time is so important. Just let that drift over, sip it, savor it, and see the real exceptional character of this 30-year-old blend.